Every season, there are players that step onto the scene and break out, but early in the year, it's really hard to identify whether these are breakouts or these are just players who are on hot streaks that will cool off eventually. It's not to say that all of these players in this video today are going to finish the season with the exact numbers they have right now, but I do believe that these players are legitimately having either breakout or the kinds of seasons that make a statement about how good they are relative to the rest of Major League Baseball. My name is Ryan Garcia. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Let's start with Xavier Edwards of the Miami Marlins, and while it was a tough choice between him and Otto Lopez, I decided to go with Edwards because I think there are greater leaps in the skill department. He is generating way more damage contact without conceding any of his abilities to make contact in zone. He is swinging less, which I think is helping him a lot, whether it's with drawing walks or just knowing the right pitch to swing at. He does have enough bat to ball abilities to have a two-strike approach and to get into 0-1 or 0-2 counts and know that he's still going to put the ball in play. And by putting him at second base instead of shortstop, the Marlins have made him into a much more valuable defensive player. On the bases, he is an absolute force of chaos, and I just view him as the kind of player that you can actually build a middle infield around. Not saying that he's a superstar per se, but I do think that this is a good baseball player and someone who has made a lot of legitimate skill leaps. He has 6 home runs in the season in just 57 games. Last year, he hit 3 home runs in 139 games. You then look at the other areas of extra base hit production. He's got 11 doubles. He's got 3 triples. I think he's a good enough base runner to turn doubles into triples and turn singles into doubles, which means that his slugging percentage should be in a pretty good spot year in and year out. I think if he can consistently produce a slugging percentage above 400, his batting average and on-base abilities will allow him to consistently be a firmly above average hitter. Again, you have elite defense at second base. You have really good base running. This is a very complete baseball player. A lot of projections tend to be pretty conservative with players. Like, they're not going to just kind of bite the bait on guys who are having like hot stretches, but for Steamer and Zips, they believe he's going to finish with around a 5-win season. So I'm pretty excited with what you're going to get from Xavier Edwards from this point forward, but I think what he's shown so far is incredibly enticing, and I don't think this is a hot streak. I think this is a breakout. Xavier Edwards is, I think, one of the best second basemen in baseball. Probably top 5 right now, just straight up based on the production he's given you so far. Maybe he doesn't do it for the rest of the season, and maybe he goes back to being a slap hitter again with no power, but if he keeps this up, he's maybe a top 3 second baseman. I mean, it's a pretty high ceiling here because of how well-rounded his offensive skill set is. Up next, we have Munetaka Murakami, who has just been so absolutely dominant, and I'll admit, much like a lot of people in the baseball world who were super concerned with his ability to make contact and wondered if he could continue being a good hitter coming over from the NPB to MLB, I had a lot of skepticism. I wasn't sure that he was a player that you could bet on reliably, and credit to the White Sox, who didn't really have much to lose here. They are a bad baseball team, or were going into this season, and they took a chance on a player who could bring a lot of good PR and revenue by being an international star, and also had the upside to maybe be a 40 to 50 home run bat. And oh my gosh, he is a 40 to 50 home run bat. He has 20 home runs already. He is projected to finish with 46 home runs, according to Steamer. That's insane for a rookie season. He is going to threaten to set the rookie home run record, and I think Murakami is truly an elite power hitter. Now, do I think he is a top 5 hitter in baseball? Probably not, but I do think he's pretty much an elite hitter, and the things I like about his skill set are that while there are those extremities in the swing and miss department, this is somebody who's going to whiff over 40% of the time and has so far. This is also somebody who has elite level swing decisions, like 99th to 100th percentile swing decisions, while also optimizing his batted balls. He pulls a lot of his fly balls, and that's going to allow him to generate a ton of damage when he does get the ball out in front in the air to right field. It's ridiculous how many pulled fly balls there are here. There aren't a lot of pop-ups, so most of his elevated contact is pretty dangerous, and he absolutely destroys velocity. He can get to off-speed pitches. I know he struggles a little bit with breaking balls, but not compared to the major league average, just compared to his normal slash line. His ability to draw walks is remarkable. This is really just the Joey Gallo profile, but he does have a better batting average. He has a 222 expected batting average, which is well below his 242 batting average. But Joey Gallo often ran a batting average below 220. Like, he only exceeded the 220 mark once in his career, and that came in 2019 when he hit 252. Murakami's better positioned to hit than Gallo is, and I think that he could end up being a potentially unique, maybe never seen before kind of hitter in terms of how often he whiffs, but the kind of hitter who does consistently hit 40 plus home runs. And the White Sox should either decide to trade him now or decide to extend him in the offseason. I don't think he should play in 2027 on a 1-year deal with the White Sox. I think they should either commit to keeping him around this core for the long haul or cash in. There really is only 2 options, I think, for them. If they let him play out on that 2027 deal, another team is going to swoop in and give him a lot of money, and very notably, Freddie Freeman is a free agent after 2027. So, yeah, White Sox, let's get on paying him or trading him, one or the other. The next breakout I want to talk about is Ryan Weathers, and Ryan Weathers is such a fascinating pitcher because if you have ever followed baseball over the last few years in terms of like breakout picks and guys who are trendy picks for breakout picks, you would know that Ryan Weathers is in the unfortunate class of players who have made that kind of list numerous times. And it's not to say that it isn't good to have the talent that people see, but it's not great if you're on a breakout list every year because it means that you didn't actually break out and something got in the way of that. Now, Ryan Weathers, one of the biggest concerns here is health, and we haven't really cleared that yet. He's at 57 in the third innings pitched, which exceeds his number for 2025, but that was 38.1 innings pitched. We have yet to see him throw 100 major league innings, and so that is a barrier we have to cross. But I think Ryan Weathers has made a lot of progressions in his skill set that are going to allow him to remain a really good starting pitcher. And so far, he's got a 3.14 ERA, a 3.45 FIP, a 3.05 expected FIP. He's striking out over 28% of batters faced, and what stands out to me here is the way that the Yankees have altered his pitch mix. He's actually throwing less hard than he did in 2025 and 2024, which I wonder if that's part of his game that maybe is going to keep him healthier. Maybe not max effort throwing all the time is something that is helping Weathers. Maybe he was pushing himself a little hard. It's also possible it was cold weather and then he had some flu issue that caused him to lose weight. So maybe there's external factors here that are not tied to what he's trying to do, but the Yankees have made him more horizontal. That means that they've lowered his arm slot. He's throwing a sinker, a better sinker than he's thrown in years past. It's probably more of a two-seamer than a sinker, if I'm being honest, just because the emphasis is on horizontal movement. His sweeper has gained horizontal movement. He's mixing that in with a tight gyro slider, a changeup, and a four-seamer. So while he still has a very vertical mix in the sense that it's a fastball, it's a changeup, it's a tight gyro slider with good vertical break, he is really dominating with that sinker sweeper mix. He has really held left-handed batters at bay. He has yet to allow an extra base hit to a left-handed batter all season, which I think is pretty remarkable. And if he finishes with the innings pitched of around 120-ish innings, again, that's new career high in innings pitched, new career high while having the most WAR of your career, while having good per rate stats. Like, those are all things that you would consider clear and defined wins for Ryan Weathers, and it's why I believe in the breakout. I don't want to leave the AL East just yet. I'm going to talk about Louis Varland now, who I think has evolved from a good reliever to a truly elite reliever. I think this is one of the 10 best relief pitchers in the sport right now. He's dropped his arm angle a little bit. He's gotten more ride on his four-seam fastball. He's added more depth to his changeup, and he's leaning on that changeup more. A changeup that has held batters to a 143 batting average with 0 extra base hits, a negative 14-degree launch angle, and a 38% whiff rate. He's still got the nasty knuckle curveball. He's still got elite velocity on his four-seam fastball, but by combining his ability to throw changeups in the dirt, curveballs with good lateral and horizontal movement, four-seamers with good right at the top of the zone, he has become virtually unhittable. He's in the 72nd percentile in whiff percentage, but he's in the 99th percentile in barrel percentage and ground ball percentage because he hasn't allowed a single barrel this season, and his ground ball rate is one of the best in the league. I don't think what makes Louis Varland elite is just the fact that he strikes out a lot of people, which he does do. It's the fact that he's striking out a ton of people while also getting a ton of soft contact, the extension he gets in his fastball, the ability to throw that changeup down and away with good velo as well. He is a soft contact ground ball machine. It's really tough to barrel him up, and because it's hard to barrel him up and because it's hard to make contact on him, it's just kind of hard to hit him. He is just a very, very difficult, I would even argue impossible at bat. The changeup has so much velocity that you wonder if it's more of like a splinker than a changeup. He has more velo on that pitch than his slider. It's sitting at 93 miles per hour with good extension. Like that's not really a changeup at that point. And I think that's such a unique pitch. And I love that he's throwing that pitch so much. And I just think this is an elite reliever. I just do. I don't think we're looking at a guy who's just red hot. I don't think we're looking at a guy who's just kind of going through a nice little stretch here. I don't think he's going to have a sub-1 ERA all season, obviously. But I do think he's going to end up being maybe one of the 5 best relievers in baseball when people start re-ranking and doing all that stuff. Again, I think that it's really hard for us to sit here and try and project future reliever outcomes because relievers are very volatile in short stretches and short spurts. Even measuring a 60-inning season is just incredibly difficult. We have no idea if a pitcher is going to have a down stretch in terms of velocity or just lose their command for a month or have an injury and be limited to 40 innings and have a couple of bad outings surrounding that injury. Like, there are a lot of hurdles in trying to project future reliever outcomes, but assuming that nothing changes materially in what Varland is doing, assuming that he doesn't have a significant injury, I think he's going to end up being a top 5 reliever in baseball. I think this breakout is legit, but let me know what you guys think. Which breakouts in this video do you buy? Which ones are you selling? Which ones are like, Ryan, you didn't take into account this guy or that guy? I'd love to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.